Trump is in Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention, which starts today. And so a lot of people were saying, or some folks were wondering why. Well, he's gonna postpone it, or so he said no. I think he went to New Jersey to get treatment for his ear. I don't know if that's where his personal doctor is or whatever, but anyway, he's in Milwaukee. So we're going to check out what's going on as far as like the update with Trump. Let me make sure I got okay, good. All right. So this is, I mean, I'm going to be using some mainstream media sources today, but we're going to try and wade those waters, and hopefully we'll get some information out of this. So this is from CNBC. The Republican National Convention begins today, and they're talking about what happened over the weekend.
Former President Trump now arriving in Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention. This, of course, a day after he was targeted in an attempted assassination. Eamon Javers joins us now this morning with more. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Andrew. We heard from President Joe Biden last night in a rare primetime address from the Oval Office. Just the third time that President Biden has given an Oval Office address. The President of the United States called for calm, he called for peace, and he called an end to political violence. Here's what the President said last night.
Disagreement is inevitable in American democracy. It's part of human nature. But politics must never be a literal battlefield, or God forbid, a killing field. I believe politics ought to be an arena for peaceful debate, to pursue justice, to make decisions guided by the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution.
Meanwhile, the FBI updating reporters yesterday on the assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump over the weekend. The FBI saying that at this point, the investigation indicates no indication that the shooter acted in concert with anyone else. The indication is that the shooter acted alone. They're also saying they're trying to determine now if there were any co-conspirators involved in this attack on the former president of the United States. No motive has been identified on the part of the shooter here in terms of any ideology associated with the shooter. They've been scrubbing his social media. They've been accessing his family, his friends. They say they've obtained his phone, but as of yesterday, they said they had not been able to get access to that phone. They're working with a forensic team to try to crack into the phone to see if there's any evidence to be gathered there. And as you can imagine, guys, this is a massive and intensive investigation into an assassination attempt against the former president of the United States. The former president survived, but this could have gone very, very differently, and we would be having a very different conversation this morning. So a lot of questions swirling now around the security posture for this event, the Republican National Convention here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but also the security posture in Pennsylvania over the weekend. Did the Secret Service do enough? Was there a broad enough security perimeter? How did the shooter get as close as he did to the former president of the United States and manage to fire off shots at him? All of that still to be determined, guys. So a lot of questions this morning in a very tense Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Back over to you.
Okay, Eamon Javers in Milwaukee. Thank you.
And here's a look at a couple of things. Moves in the shares of Trump media this morning. It closed about 30.31 on Friday. It's bidding 46.50 this morning. That's quite a move. Indicated almost 52%. And the predicted.
Yeah, I wanted to put that tail end there. Like, Trump made money off this. No lie. Wild. So yeah. So who is the guy? Who's the person that did all this, right? A lot of speculation about the shooter. Yeah, Rick, that's right. Morning Joe didn't have a show today, saying they couldn't have a guest on that would be respectful of the situation. Guess they're afraid of getting door knocks now. Yeah, well, yeah, that's very touchy to talk about this stuff, especially when you're under the thumb of the establishment like that. So, that's the beauty of shows like this. We can say whatever the fuck we want. We don't care. But they can't. They're stuck with it. So the shooter was Thomas Matthew Crooks. And here's this is from WTVR CBS 6. And they're going to fill us in a little bit more about who this person is that we're that we're dealing with. If we can get this thing to work, you work. There you go, buddy.
Secret Service agents swarmed former President Donald Trump and rushed him off stage after a gunman fired shots during his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
We had what we're calling an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. It's still an active crime scene.
Trump said he was shot by a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear. On his Truth social media platform, he wrote, quote, "I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin." A New York Times photographer captured this image of what appears to show a bullet racing by the former president's head. The FBI identified the gunman as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. They say he fired shots from outside the secure cordoned area of the rally, atop an elevated structure.
He starts shooting. Bow, 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 bow. About 4 to 5 shots rang out.
Law enforcement converged on Crooks' family's suburban Pittsburgh home overnight.
They asked us to leave our house. They told us it was a state of emergency. No warning. They just knocked on the door in the middle of the night.
Officials say the gunman fired 6 to 8 rounds from an AR-15 assault rifle before he was shot and killed by a member of the Secret Service counter-assault team. The FBI called it, quote, surprising that he was able to fire at the stage before he was killed.
We do not currently have an identified motive, although our investigators are working tirelessly to attempt to identify what that motive was.
Last night's rally in Pennsylvania was former President Trump's last before the Republican National Convention gets underway here in Milwaukee. Right now, plans are underway to expand the security perimeter around this venue. President Biden spoke with Trump Saturday evening. He condemned the attack.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick.
Trump was treated at a local hospital. He returned to his golf club in New Jersey early this morning.
All right, so he returned to his golf club in New Jersey. That's where he was. So that's why he went to New Jersey. So I'm pretty sure he had his doctor right there with him. They always do on these little trips. So this guy, Thomas Matthew Crooks, a bit of an enigma when it comes to trying to pin somebody down on ideological purposes, you know, like, oh, the shooter was a conservative. Oh, this shooter was a left wing, you know. Hello, Desert Mantis. Hey, let me shout out everybody before we get like too deep in the woods. We got Miguel and Desert Mantis and Rick and Choosy and Ed. And, of course, Willie Bragg. We are Ronan. Good to see you, bud. Who else is up in here? Anonymous, of course. Good to see you, Anonymous. Thank you for that reminder. My little brain just forgets stuff. Of course, Chuck UFO. Chuck the Alien. Coming to a Magic Picture Box near you in the near future. I think I got everybody there. So, anyway, back to the countdown. Back to the countdown in the rock era. So Thomas Matthew Crooks, well, who is this kid, right? He's hello. Okay. So he was a star student. Crooks lived with his parents in Bethel Park, located around an hour from Butler. That's where the shooting took place. He graduated from Bethel Park High School in 2022, winning a $500 Star Award from the National Math and Science Initiative, according to the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. And this is the kid right there. And apparently he was in some sort of Black Rock video or something. Crazy. In a high school yearbook photo posted online, Crooks can be seen wearing a T-shirt emblazoned with an American flag, while video footage shows him receiving his high school diploma in 2022 to scattered applause. A classmate of Crooks, 21-year-old Jason Kohler, told NBC News that Crooks was a quote, loner who was, quote, bullied so much in high school. However, another classmate, 20-year-old Michael Dujak, says that Crooks was not actively bullied, but was on his own a lot. And here we're talking about the conflicting politics. So, of course, people At first, they saw that Crooks was a registered Republican. They said, oh, well, it must have been like one of these people that just, the part of the party that hates Trump or something, or, wants to start trouble. According to Pennsylvania voter records cited by multiple U.S. media outlets, however, he made a $15 donation to Act Blue, a liberal fundraising organization, on the day of President Joe Biden's inauguration back in 2021. According to the federal FEC records cited by the same outlets. Classmates of Crooks told NBC News that they couldn't recall Crooks being active on social media or outspoken about politics. This was Agent Kevin Rojek from the FBI said, we do not currently have an identified motive, as you heard in that other video, adding that the agency was working tirelessly to determine why the 20-year-old attempted to kill Trump. And we're going to talk about the Secret Service and their failed endeavor too. He was and I'm, when I'm reading this stuff off, I'm not like trying to infer anything. I'm just giving you the facts of their reporter. You want to make your own decisions about this stuff. That's up to you. He was a firearms enthusiast. He used an AR-15 style rifle to carry out the attack. That's what the law enforcement sources said. According to ABC News, the semi-automatic rifle was purchased legally by Crooks' father only 6 months before the shooting. Jason Kohler, one of the classmates who spoke to NBC, said that Crooks was made fun of for wearing hunter outfits to school. At the time of the shooting, Crooks was wearing a t-shirt bearing the logo of Demolition Ranch, a popular YouTube channel featuring demonstrations of powerful firearms and explosives. And this part's fun. Shortly after the shooting, Demolition Ranch host Matt Carricker shared a photo of a Secret Service agent standing over Crooks' body on Instagram with the caption, "What the hell?" Right? How'd you? Yeah. So if you're going to do any mass shootings, don't wear any ExtraBulla shirts, okay? We don't want to, we got enough bad press as it is. We don't need any more, so. But probably don't do the mass shooting either, so that's probably number one. But if you are, just don't use my shirt. Law enforcement sources told the AP that bomb-making materials were also found in Crooks' home and in a car he'd abandoned near the site of the shooting. As for his parents, Crooks' neighbors told the New York Times that the family lived on a, quote, upper middle class street, describing his father as a, quote, libertarian and his mother as a registered Democrat. So there may be your conflicting political views. One's a little more conservative, one's a little more liberal. So, that makes sense. Contacted by CNN on Saturday, the shooter's father said that he was still trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and would wait until I talked to law enforcement before speaking to the press. Good man, because, you just lost your kid. Don't know why. Probably had no idea this kid was into this kind of shit. But yeah, so how did he get away with it? There were several reports of people telling the police and the security around there that there was a guy on the roof. People had video of it, I think. Maybe after the fact, after he got shot. But the Secret Service is taking a little heat today for allowing this to happen. So this is from WVTM 13 in Birmingham, Alabama. Your choice for news in Birmingham. The Secret Service is investigating how a gunman who shot and injured Trump was able to get so close, right? So they talked to this guy. He's a Secret Service guy, and he kind of gives you the lowdown of what in his mind, what he thinks what went down.
Now we want to bring in Pittsburgh's Action News 4 reporter Bob Mayo. Bob, we understand you're speaking with a former Secret Service agent tonight.
That's right, Jeff James. He's a retired Secret Service agent. Currently, he is chief of police for Robert Morris University. He had 2 tours as being the special agent in charge at the Secret Service offices here in Pittsburgh, and also served on a Secret Service detail for former President George W. Bush. As someone with experience protecting a president, as someone with years of service and experience with the Secret Service, as you watched those moments that we all saw this evening, from your trained eye and perspective, what went through your mind as you saw what happened?
Yeah, well, first I want to make one correction. I was not the special agent in charge, so I wanted to clear that up. But what went through my mind was everything happened pretty much as it should. Those agents got around the president. They got him to his feet. They put a wall of flesh and body armor between him and whatever the threat might be. The only thing I would have liked to have seen done a little bit differently is when there was that hesitation on the stage, when the president put his fist in the air, I would have liked to have seen the agents get him off the stage and into the armored vehicles a little bit quicker than being that static target, because you never knew if this may have been the precursor in the real attack. There may have been 4 more gunmen who were going to start opening fire. And I would have rather seen them get him into the armored cars and get him out of there a little more quickly.
For those agents immediately around the president, they're moving him, they're protecting him. Other agents who are deployed across that venue, what are they doing in those moments?
Well, they're looking for any secondary attack. They're looking for the precursor for any secondary attack. And they're also looking for where that initial attack is coming from. And from everything we know, it was sighted pretty quickly. The snipers were able to neutralize the target. But again, we always treat that attack as if that is just the precursor and the real attack is still to come. So all those agents who are around, they're waiting for that real attack to still come.
Indications seem to be that the attacker may have been from a vantage point off the formal venue site. The fact that that shot apparently nicked the former president's ear, your thoughts about how close a call literally this was?
Yeah, if that bullet is 3 inches to the president's left, it hits him in the nose. That tells you that the shooter, I'm not sure exactly how far he was away, but even if it was something as short as, with a high-powered rifle, as 400 yards,
I think it was 130
the difference
yards.
Between your nose and your ear is just a gust of wind.
120.
So it seems like he probably has some kind of acumen with a high-powered rifle.
Jeff James, a retired Secret Service agent.
Yeah. We know who he is. So, let me get back here. Hello, where am I? Whoop, hi, kids. All right. So, the shooter was like 130 yards away, I think. The gunman, officials said, was killed by Secret Service, fired multiple shots at the stage from an elevated position outside of the rally venue, right? But it was within the perimeter. It was 150 meters. So it was within the perimeter of the protection of the Secret Service, right? Trump rewrote his RNC speech. That ought to be interesting. And for you newbies to this channel, don't get it twisted. Nobody's fans of Trump here, all right? We don't want to see the guy shot, but we don't like the guy either. Biden said he's directing an independent review of the security of the rally. There were rumors that they had pulled some details off of Trump for the First Lady, Jill Biden, who was doing some sort of event maybe nearby or something. I don't know, but I can't confirm that, though. But that's just some rumors. And then there was another rumor of a guy, one of the Secret Service sniper guys said he had the shot, but they told him to wait, or they didn't give him the call, and he ended up making the shot himself, and then he got fired. I don't know if that's true, but that's also, just be aware of some of these rumors that are going around.